Lisa Rinna launches a new podcast while Kyle may be selling her home with Mauricio. And Denise Richards is ready to get wild on reality TV again, while Dorit is done protecting PK. And Rebecca Minkoff is done with Housewives and quite possibly her friendship with Erin.
I mean, I think if everyone can realize their own responsibilities and take ownership for them, I certainly did at the reunion, then the conversation's always available.
We've got that plus so much more on today's Getting Real with the Housewives. Hey everyone, and welcome to Getting Real with the Housewives. Lots of big news to get into this week, like always. So let's kick it off with Rebecca Minkoff, because her time on the Housewives of New York City has come to an end. She took to Instagram the same night in which part 2 of the RONY reunion was aired by Bravo to announce her departure from the reality series after just one season. She wrote on Instagram, "I am truly grateful for the experience, the friendships, and the fans that have been part of this RONY chapter. Time to turn the page." Now, her announcement followed an interview with us that was conducted earlier that day. Now, she didn't discuss openly why she was going to leave the show. She said TBD when we asked her if she was going to go get her apple. But she did talk about Scientology while appearing on RONY. She told us during the chat that it was never brought up in a manner that was respectful, as we saw on the reunion, which got messy and awkward. So here's a little bit more from our conversation, including where she stands with Erin following their confrontation at the reunion.
I thought that having had all these close experiences, that when I walked off, someone would say bye or good to see you. It felt like the Mean Girls Club all of a sudden, and I was like, what happened? Did I miss a memo somewhere that everyone is like, now like, stay away from this girl? But it literally felt like, it just felt very weird, and I was honestly like, oh, okay. You know, the only thing I could think of is I knew they were having a hard day. I knew they were having very tough conversations. And I think when you're in that headspace, again, energy preservation for all of them, it seemed like they just had to power down.
Sure.
Or they really just don't like me, and I'm the idiot.
No. Did anybody reach out to you afterwards?
Yeah, Jessel and Uba did.
Okay, and what did they kind of say to you?
Just checking in on you.
Just checking in, yeah. Did you have a tough time kind of like compartmentalizing your thoughts after that reunion, after you walked off?
No, but I think when you're in the moment and it feels like whack-a-mole, you're like, do I answer this or this? Do I address this one or this one? But if I do this, I won't get to that, and that's important. And you can't like put a pin in it. And so it was really, I think, interesting and sort of hard to navigate which question do I answer and how. And hopefully I answered enough and got through enough.
Do you feel like you got your point across?
I do.
Yeah. Nothing left that
I think there's things left. I think Erin and I probably need to have a conversation.
Right. Have you had a conversation since?
No, we haven't.
No. Did you see that relationship taking a turn in the way it did?
I was very surprised.
Very surprised.
I was as shocked as probably everyone else. That's when I found out.
At the reunion is when you found out that things weren't. That's got to be a tough pill to swallow too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because we were close. Like, you know, off camera we hung out all the time. You know, we had our kids met, our husbands met, like we hung out all summer together. So it was,
really?
You know, I knew we had a disagreement prior, but I didn't know it was like, oh, the end of the friendship is here.
Oh, okay.
That was the big news flash I failed to receive.
Oh, wow. Well, then I would imagine that walking off, you'd be like, wait, what just happened here? Like, I thought we were friends. Do you feel like she was saving it then for the reunion?
Likely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone needs to figure out a way to get their apple, I guess.
Yeah. Do you want an apple after this?
TBD.
TBD. We'll have to wait and see. Do you want a friendship with Erin going forward?
I mean, I think if everyone can realize their own responsibilities and take ownership for them, I certainly did at the reunion, then the conversation's always available.
Yeah, I don't think there is a friendship forward in the future, but I guess she was a one-and-done housewife. All right, moving on over to Meredith Marks. She is happy that former Real Housewives of Salt Lake City co-star Jen Shah has a newly shortened prison sentence. She told us, I mean, you know, that's not my call. That's someone else's call, but good for her. Now, Meredith, however, doesn't know whether Jen could potentially return to Salt Lake City upon her release. She said, that's a call for production, and I don't want to comment. So according to the Federal Bureau of Prisons inmate records, Jen is scheduled to be released on November 3rd, 2026. It is the second time that her sentence has been reduced. Amid her sentence, she reached out to Meredith via a telephone conversation. And Meredith said during the reunion that it was very brief. She called me. Well, obviously, I can't call her. Well, that's true. Whitney, Rose, and Mary then questioned how Meredith could entertain a conversation with the former star. For Whitney, she wondered how it wasn't worse than her own conversation with Monica Garcia. She does have a point. She says, I didn't seek Jen out to dig dirt on my friends. Jen called me from prison after she's taken accountability, served time, and is paying restitution. Mary then chimed in, claiming that she would not have answered a call from Jen because she tormented them. And she said, Meredith said, well, that's up to you. That's surprising. So what is she supposed to do moving forward? She is serving her time and paying her restitution and has been accountable for it. What should she do? Curl up in a corner and die? It wasn't like I was going for a sleepover or something. This was a 10-minute phone call. Do you think there's no second chances in life? Is that what we're all deciding? So it seems like Meredith would maybe have her back in the future. Maybe some of the other girls wouldn't. I just don't know if Jen would come back and seemingly kind of fit right in. I think I've said it on the show before. Jen and Andy Cohen didn't really leave on the best of terms too, so I can't imagine that he would be welcoming her with open arms back. But we do have some time to think about it. She's not getting out for another, almost 2 years. All right, well, Kyle Richards and estranged husband Mauricio are discussing the possibility of selling their family home. So after announcing her separation from Mauricio in July of 2023, Kyle said on the after show that they have had talks about future property options. She says, we still have not filed for divorce or anything, but we have had more conversations about what we should do. Should I still live where I'm living? Should we sell the house and each go buy 2 new homes? Or do we keep the house because it is such a beautiful, special property and just each go our different ways? We're discussing those things now, which we did not before. So she added that she and Mauricio have maintained a unique friendship throughout the 18 months that have passed since their split was revealed. She says, I don't think there is a blueprint for exactly how this has to be done. I find myself being oddly protective and defensive of him because people want to say things about him, thinking it would make me happy. I'm like, you don't know how we work. We're good. Well, some decisions, I guess, have to be made eventually, but it seems like if it's working for them, then it's really none of our business. But that property is so beautiful. I'm sure that, this was kind of their dream home. We saw them move into this home on the show, so I'm sure it has a lot of sentimental value. And so hopefully maybe they'll keep it, come to some sort of resolution. But now that they're talking about selling the home, I don't think that they're ever going to get back together. But nice that they have a good friendship and are co-parenting amicably. Somebody that's not co-parenting amicably is Dorit, because she is seemingly done protecting her estranged husband, PK. She said, I wake up to a 7-page email and it was a barrage. It was primarily financials. His expectations were within a month or 2 that I will be responsible for the mortgage and all the bills associated with the house. There was also a discussion of custody, lawyers, and threats of, if this doesn't happen, I will be proceeding with divorce. She said this on the after show. She revealed in a different episode this season that PK threatened divorce during a 4-hour therapy session. Things are not going well between the two of them. I mean, the ladies kind of warned her that things were going to get nasty, and it took a turn pretty quickly for him to say that she's going to be financially responsible for everything. It seems like he is definitely done with this marriage, and it is turning to an angry and bitter divorce. Well, staying in Beverly Hills, I'm very excited because Denise Richards is ready to share a glimpse into her wild family with the help from an even wilder reality show. So Bravo released the first trailer for Denise Richards and her wild things. In the sneak peek, cameras roll as Denise spends time with her family and friends, including several of her former Beverly Hills co-stars, like Erika Jayne, who says in a scene, hey there, lady. It seems like they have a sit down, that they weren't the best of friends. So this is going to be interesting because Denise lets out a very nervous laugh. Erika and Denise didn't see eye to eye, like I said, when they filmed together on Beverly Hills seasons 9 and 10. Their feud was reignited in 2024 during season 13 when Erika brought up Denise's OnlyFans account at a dinner party. But such good TV. While it's unclear where Denise stands with Erika today, she also had the opportunity to film with Garcelle, Sutton, Kathy, Camille. So I feel like it's going to be a good show because elsewhere in the trailer, she struggles to find the balance between being an actress, wife to Aaron, and mom to her daughters, Sammy and Lola, who she shares with her ex, Charlie Sheen. She said, I'm just trying to keep the family together, and these girls make it so effing hard. People think it gets so much easier when they're older. It gets harder. There is no damn ass effing handbook for it, that's for sure. Couldn't agree with you more. There is no handbook for that, but I'm so excited that Denise is back. I think this is going to be a really great show, focusing just on her family. We get a little sprinkle of our housewives here and there, so it's going to be a wild ride for sure. Well, some sad news for Sonja Morgan. Her ex-husband, John Adams Morgan, died in early February. He was 94. Sonja and John's only child, daughter Quincy Adams Morgan, confirmed his passing via her Instagram story. She said, "I wanted to take the opportunity to tell you all myself that my father passed away this month. My family is navigating this together." The 24-year-old revealed, "I very much loved and admired my dad. I am so grateful for the love and care I have been shown in these past weeks." She noted that she took a break from work to navigate this loss and was grateful to her manager for reconfiguring her schedule so she could be present with her family. The late banker was married 5 times. He and Sonja tied the knot in 1998. They welcomed their daughter in 2000, and 6 years later, Sonja and John divorced. But then he married for the 5th time in 2010 and was still married to Connie Morgan at the time of his death. But we saw Sonja talk a lot about him throughout her seasons on New York, and we saw the relationship with her daughter. So definitely a sad time for that family. Shifting gears to some interesting news. Lisa Rinna and Harry Hamlin are launching their very own podcast, Let's Not Talk About the Husband, with Dear Media, and it's premiering Friday, February 14th. The show's title, of course, is a nod to Beverly Hills and the infamous Amsterdam episode from season 5, where Lisa lunges at Kim Richards after making false accusations about her marriage. What an iconic scene. So according to Deadline, the premiere episode will focus on Lisa dishing on her time on the reality series, why she left, what her life has been like since leaving Beverly Hills. The second episode, premiering on February 21st, will show Lisa and Harry diving into their love story, sharing details on how they first met. I'm excited for this. I think it's going to be an interesting ride. You know, it's been several years since Lisa has been on the show, so maybe that's given her time to reflect and, you know, maybe appreciate her time a little bit more, because obviously things didn't end well. You know, she was just on Andy Cohen's radio show. The two of them kind of talked about her time together, so it seems like maybe she's been a little bit more appreciative and reflective, and I will definitely be listening, and we'll be recapping it, I'm sure, every single week. All right, well, that is it for this week's episode of Getting Real with the Housewives. Let me know in the comments if you think Jen Shah should come back, if you were surprised about Rebecca Minkoff's one-and-done departure. Lots of housewives to get to, so keep commenting, keep subscribing, and I'll see you next week.